Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. A very warm welcome to all of you. Today we'll be discussing about the two big guns, two major softwares which are being used for statistics. The first one is the SPSS, and the second one is a very renowned software which is used for manifold reasons. And among those reasons, we have one of the functions, one of the operations which we can do very effectively over there is MS Excels. So today we'll be seeing uh, how we can analyze the differences in between these two things, and I'll be demonstrating you a bit of work in both of these softwares to see a bit of comparison how they are working like. So let's start off this presentation now. Okay, so the difference is that Excel is basically a big file, and you will be seeing rows and columns out there. That's what they call it as spreadsheet software. And SPSS is specifically for statistical analysis. And then you can perform statistical analysis in Excel, but SPSS is more powerful. We'll get to see how it is more powerful. And then one more major difference which we see in both of these softwares is that in SPSS you have to declare a field, a variable, whereas in Excel it does not understand anything such like that. You have to put in the data, you have to put in the fields all by yourself. You cannot declare it the way we declare in a typical SPSS system. MS Excel is more famous and it's more commonly available software. We might have heard about it from our childhood days. And when it comes to that's Excel, and when it comes to SPSS, we know it very well. We came to know about it as we progressed in our academic qualifications, and most probably when the people are into their higher studies, postgraduate or the PhDs, then they get to see about this software. Now let's have a look at the comparative pricing of this thing. MS Office is much cheaper than SPSS license. The newest version, the MS Office, the latest one is 2009. It's like a one-time purchase, and yeah, you can get it for around less than $100. In fact, 250 reals or 300 reals from the Jarir bookstore. And then they have got a newer version, which is Office 365, which is taking an annual charge, which is again around $100. But when it comes to the pricing of SPSS, you would see if you want to buy a full-fledged SPSS license, you have to pay a good amount, which is around $100 per month. But they have also released another software, which is basically a brother software of SPSS. They call it PSPP, which is like a smaller software, a smaller version of SPSS, which is freeware. And most of the things what we require, we can do it from that. But anyways, if we look at the official pricing of these two things, we know it very well. SPSS costs a lot. Okay, today I'll be showing you how we can implement a few statistical functions in both of these softwares. To start off, we'll be doing the basic ones, which is the mean and then median and mode, SG standard deviation, variance, correlation. I think correlation I've already shown you in my previous presentations. And then we'll do a bit of t-test hypothesis. So let's not wait any further for the theoretical uh, explanation. Let's dig into the softwares now. So let's open up NMS Excel software straight away from here. Okay, so you all are very well aware about how the first look of an Excel appears as we open up the file. Now, in order to do anything in relation to statistics, we have got two ways. One of the ways is an inbuilt function in a typical Excel file. I'll show you. I'll put some data for example here. Okay, this is my data. Okay, now I'll try to find the few basic statistical answers for this shown up data. So in order to do that, we have to go to this file menu, and we have got formulas menu. I'll just go over there, and I look for something which is called statistical function. No, we cannot see it, but to start off, we can click on this one, auto sum. If I need to add them all together, if I press over here on the summation sign, I'll see that it is automatically selecting the data. It is asking me whether this the data for which we need to find the sum. I'll just press on enter from my keyboard and I'll get the answer. So in this way, we got the sum quite efficiently. Now let's try to find out average or mean. In order to find mean, again, we'll go to the same place. This time around, we won't be pressing on the upper part. Rather, we'll be pressing on the down arrow. And here we can get a few things straight away. These are readily available, like average. Again, it is asking me what is the data. This time around, it is selecting the sum as well. So I don't want it to be selected. So I'll be using my mouse. I'll be selecting the data only, and then I'll press on enter. So in this way, I got the average. Now, as for the other functions, there are a few more which might be used a lot by the people. Is maximum and minimum. If we need to find out which is the maximum value out here, what is the minimum value out here, let's quickly do it. Again, maximum. The procedure is pretty much the same. You just need to specify the data, whether you can type it up or you can select it with the help of your mouse. So I got the maximum value. This is the maximum value which I got it in my data set. And in a similar way, we can get the minimum value. Okay, I'll get it. So we got the minimum value. I'll just copy and paste it over here. So this is the minimum value. So this was the the readily available functions which we can get it from AutoSum button out here. Now let's have a look at other functions where I can get the other functions. In order to find the other functions, well, what we need to do is that we have to come to the middle of this pane, and we'll be clicking on more functions, and then we can see the first option as statistical function. And if you have a look out here, they have literally covered everything. It's like an ocean of statistical functions. The only thing is that you need to have a bit of training. You should know what is the use of which function and how we can get along with it. Anyways, I'm if in case I don't like this drop box, I'll come up to the bottom of this list. We have got a function, an option called insert function. I'll click on that. So I'll be getting a special window where I can have a look at all of the statistical functions, and I'll be having a bit of description about it as well, so that I can study it a bit and I can straightforward apply the the statistical procedure. For example, let's look for standard deviation. If it is somewhere, I'll look for S. Let's see, skew, standardized, SD. The this is the function for standard deviation. So let's try to apply this standard deviation out here. So I'll press on OK. Now again, it is asking me where are the numbers. So whenever you have something like that, just drag the window to the right so that you can have a look into your data and use your mouse and select it all. That's it. And there's the press on OK. As soon as you press on that, you are able to get the standard deviation straight away. So that's how we are getting the standard deviation out here. Let me show you one of the sample files which I had created yesterday for a group of students, so that you can see how we are applying the usage of Excel out here. This is basically a record keeping software where we are checking up the blood pressure reading for a patient. So we are tabulating the records, systolic and diastolic readings for the patient. So I recorded it for 15 days, and then I found the average out here. And after that, I was able to give it a pictorial representation out here. Okay, let's get back to the previous file now. I'll show you another thing, which is how we can do another kind of functions like Ttest. Okay, Excel has brought in one more adding feature in case if we don't like this thing, if we are not very comfortable with this one, this drop down box, there is another way where you can go and do the data analysis. I'll show it to you. If you press on data out here, the next item adjacent to formulas, if you look for a data analysis to the extreme right, if I press on that, again here I can get a few more major statistical terms straight away, like t-test, the variants of t-test we have got over here. We have got histogram, and we have got correlation, covariance. ANOVA is also a very famous statistical procedure. So it is literally covering up everything out here. So if a person wants to do something straight away, and if he's not able to find SPSS, he can do it with the help of this software. Let's try to do a bit of data analysis. Let's see if it can help us out. See, we have got descriptive statistics out here. I'll press on OK. Okay, and now it is asking me that to input the range. I'll select it from here, and then it is asking me where should the output go. I'll keep it as it is. I'll just press on OK. Let's see how. Okay, okay. Now they're asking me to find one statistical procedure. All right, let's find it now. Okay, let's select a few things. Summary statistics now. Okay, now we got it. So see, if you look over here, we have got everything straight away. We have got the mean, standard error, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, kurtosis, skewness. So if you're aware about the statistical terms, you can see that it has done it with the press of one click. So this is quite handy thing. But this data analysis option is not readily available over there in the MSS Excel software. If you need to bring this thing, they bring this functionality into your software, you have to press on this the leftmost icon, the start menu icon, and you will have to go to the Excel options, and then you will be going to the add-ins. This is basically an add-in, an extension, what we call as extension for Google Chrome. We call it add-in over here. And here you will be pressing on the manage Excel add-ins, and you have to ensure that you have to put up a check mark over here for analysis toolpack VBA. In this way, you will be able to see that option visible over there. So this was about the Excel part. Now let's try to do the same kind of thing over here in an SPSS file. So let's try to copy the data, whatever we did over there. For example, this one, I'll be just selecting this data. Yeah, SPSS has got a good functionality where we can transfer the data from Excel to an SPSS file straight away. So I'll just bring it out here and I'll just put it up like this, Control V. So I can see the data getting imported from the Excel file. Now, as you see over here, it has given a name to this particular column. So if I want, I can further specify it that this is my data. I'll switch to the variable view and I'll just change it to data. And if I need to format it, I can format it straight away. Okay, let's go back here. This got necessarily created, and we'll just remove it. Okay, so this is numeric. We have got the width. I don't want the decimals to be displayed, and that's it. Let's go back to the data view. So as we see out there, I'll just change the name, data. Let's go back to the data view. We can see that now we have specified a name for this data set. Now, if I need to find out the basic descriptive statistics, which I did over there, again, I'll go to this file menu pane and I'll go to analyze, descriptive statistics, frequencies, or just a second, we'll go to descriptive statistics, descriptives. Now it is asking me which is that particular column for which I need to take it. So I'm doing it for data. I'll just double click on data and I'll be then pressing on options. I'll be seeing whatever I need over here. Range, standard error, skewness, kurtosis. That's it. Continue, press on OK. The output file will give me the same similar thing what we got over there in Excel file. So over here, it's pretty much the same out here. All you need to do is that you have to do a few clicks and you can get the basic descriptive statistics in both of these softwares. Let's try to compare the values if it is matching up. Or let's go back over here. Let's go to that sheet. Okay, the mean over there is 22.2, standard error 12.32. Okay, let's over here. Okay, we have got the mean statistics over here as 21.83, and then they are putting up the, so there's a bit of variation out here in this aspect, but again, it's not a big variation. We can accept it to be like that. Okay, let's move to the other part, which is how we can do the charting of our data. Let's go back to SPSS. For example, I need to do a bit of chart out here. This is basically, let's see, go to analyze part, descriptive, frequencies. I'll ask them to do select the data part. I'll press on chart. I'll tell them to make bar charts or something. If I need it in frequencies or percentage straight away, that's it. Let's see if I can get something out of it. Though I've got only one column out here, so but still, if let's see. Ideally, we should be having more columns. See, we have got something coming up straight away. So SPSS is quite handy in this aspect if you've got a multiple fields out there, like the result of a questionnaire. And if you need to get an analysis straight away, you'll be getting the result pretty quickly out here. In comparison to an Excel file where you have to select the data and then you have to you have to select the data and then you'll have to go to the insert file and then you can do the charting over here as we did it over here. So this is the basic difference where we can do these two things. Now let's come up to a procedure which is called as the Ttest procedure. And let's try to do something in relevance to our physiotherapy department. I'll show you one file. That's Ttest file. Okay, let me explain you a bit about this thing. So what we did is that we called a few patients and we checked out their wrist strength with the help of a dynamometer, if I'm pronouncing it well, wrist dynamometer, and we checked the strength of the patients before a physical therapy session, and this is what we got for these number of patients. Let's add the number out here. So just come to this corner part. Okay, so we have got 18 patients and we have taken the data out here. Their the data before the session is over here. The unit for a typical dynamometer reading is in kilogram, most probably, to show the strength of the person. And then again, after the physical therapy session, well, let's say for example, these patients visited our college and mashallah, our colleagues are quite good in this aspect when it comes to giving physical therapy, rehabilitation. So after a good session, what we saw is that this was the result after the therapy. Now, if I need to check out whether the difference over here is significant or not, whether our team members, they have done a great job over here in helping out the patients. We can do for these kind of aspects, what we can do is that we can do a t-test. So in order to do the t-test, I'll show it to you. You'll have to go to the data part. There are two ways of doing a t-test. I'll show you the easier one. Go to the data part, press on data analysis, and go to the bottommost part of this list, and then you can choose the options out here. It's a you have to study a bit about which kind of t-test procedure you would like to take. Let's take any one of them. For example, t-test paired one, because this is a set of data for the same patients. So paired to sample for means. I'll press on that. Now it is asking me where is the range. Okay, if I look it over here, I can see that the values are increasing. Okay, so make it a practice. Whichever column which you feel you are seeing the increase values, select it as the first column. So I've selected my first variable range. Now let's select the second variable range and put a check mark on labels. That's it. So if I can see the results over here straight away. It has given me a lot over here. It has given me the other descriptive statistics as well. We have got mean, variance, observations, and then we have got correlation also. And the thing through which I can conclude something out of it is this value, which is called the T stat value, and this critical value. Whenever we are comparing a similar sample of data, our null hypothesis is always that there is no difference. There wasn't any difference even after the physical therapy session. So that was our null hypothesis. But seeing this result, if we have a look at this value of T stat, if it is coming out to be bigger than T critical, then we have it's a condition where we will straight away say that we reject the null hypothesis. Whenever this value, this particular value, the value which you're seeing in green out here, if it is greater than this, the value in yellow, you have to reject the null hypothesis. So that basically means that the changes are significantly different, which implies that our team members have done a fabulous job, and we can see the results straight away. So this is something which is quite good and which might be used a lot by all of you people in your sessions. You can use it, and you can do it straight away with this MS Excel file. You don't need to bother about it in SPSS software. You can get it straight away. Let's try to do similar thing in a typical SPSS file, and then we can call it a day. I'll go back to the SPSS file. I'll open up a new file, new data. Okay, I'll try to paste it. So whatever I got it over there, I just copy pasted the stuff from there, from the Excel file. Let's define the variables. The first variable was before therapy. So before, I'll write it down, that's it. And the second one was after therapy. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, let it be. We've got the values showing up in decimals. Doesn't matter. We can change it, but we don't require to change it. So whenever you need to do something in relation to the statistical operation, you always need to go to the analyze parts. So go to the analyze parts. We have got a big lot of option out here. I'll go to compare means, and look for a paired samples t-test. We can get it out here. Again, we have got ANOVA and everything Over here, I'll select a paired sample t-test, and then it is again asking me what is the variable range. I'll put up before over here first, and then I'll put up after as the second one. I'll show you the result. Let's have a look at the options. We can set the confidence interval over here straight away. Press on OK. Okay, so we have got the standard t-test values out here. And as you see over here, we got the mean and everything. And if we have a look at this t value out here, it is coming out to be negative, but we are supposed to ignore this negative value. So this is basically 10. The reason why it happened is that we took the first variable as the lower range, and we took the second variable, the, the higher range, we took it as second. Let me show it to you again. If I do the reverse process out here, if I go back here, and I'll take the after value as the first thing and before value as the second variable. Let's check it up now. So if you look over here, this time we've got the same value, but it is in a positive sign. So whenever you see this negative sign, that doesn't basically imply that it's coming out to be something lesser than zero. You just need to ignore it. So here again, we got the value quite big, and but for the critical value, we can't see any mention over here. So for that, we have to go back and grab hold of the t-test table, and we have to look for the degrees of freedom out there, and then we can get the value, and then we can compare it. So on this particular aspect, what we can see is that Excel has been able to give out a better result because we have the critical value straight away over here, and we can do a comparison over here, and we can conclude straight away that the null hypothesis has to be rejected over here. And over here, we need to Google up the t-table map, and then we can do it. Nevertheless, both of the procedures are quite easy, and we can choose any one of them. So this was the demonstration. Let's get back to the PowerPoint presentation. We are done with a bit of idea about these two softwares. Let's quickly read out the conclusions. So both SPS and Excel, they serve us the purpose in their domains exceptionally well. Both of them, they are kings of their territory, but Excel is more broad when it comes to other functions as well. But uh, the good thing about Excel is that it's a cheaper option. It's a good thing for individuals. If we need to go for some kind of research where we don't have funding, we can do our statistical procedure through Excel. And when it comes to a comprehensive solution where we need, then SPSS is a clear-cut winner. Obviously, it's an expensive option, but it is something which is good for enterprises and organizations. So in this way, I hope I have been able to give you a bit of comparative analysis between these two softwares. Thanks a lot for attending this session. If you've got any questions, you are most welcome to ask me. By the way, I've recorded this session, so I'll be uploading this session on YouTube with the permission of our head of the department. And perhaps we can look into this software, look into this video later as well for reference. Any questions, my dear friends?
Thank you. Thank you so much for your great presentation, and sorry we joined late. And my question
Yeah.
about the SPSS, how can we get a license for the SPSS?
The IT department of our college, they do have a software of SPSS, and if we request them, they can give us the software, and we can do it straight away. Though, to be very honest with you, I've got the cracked version in my system. But
Okay, yes.
we can put up a request to the IT department. They can give us the license.
It's like the last version.
I haven't taken this input from the IT department. I'll ask them and let you know about this thing. What is the latest version they are having?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Thank you so much. I've got 100% attendance out here, mashallah. Thanks a lot, everyone. Jazakallah khairan. Let's wrap it up now. I'll send you the link of this recorded session so that you can use it up whenever you require it. Thanks a lot, everyone. Jazakallah khairan. Mas salama.